I'm heading out to Vancouver in about an hour to record vocals for the first single off the new album, with my friend Cory. And I'm very excited about that. But before we head out, grab a coffee or a tea and let's chat. So I know it's been 4 months since my last album update, and some people have been like, so is your album out yet? No, but and that was when we recorded drums. So if you haven't seen that yet, I'll link it up top here and in the description so you can go back and kind of see the progress on the album. We did the drums. Now we're moving on to vocals. Yay! I realized after all the difficult stuff we faced over the last few years that I needed to approach the making of this album in a very gentle way. So we're just doing the steps as I get the money and have the bandwidth and the time. And so I'm really excited though that we're kind of rounding the corner on this first single. I'm not going to tell you what it's called yet. In preparation for this session, I took a lesson with my vocal coach, Ben Waits from Singing Success, and he gave me some really great advice. And I actually thought that I would put a little clip here that I thought was great advice for any musician in the studio, so here it is.
I do know how there is a level of difficulty in being your own sounding board, mainly because you just want to be overly critical. Like everything sucks, it's dumb. Don't know why anybody would want to listen to this. You know, that's usually where the brain wants to go. And so there, you have to kind of develop a means of which to get out of yourself and actually hear it for what it is. I would say when it comes to producing vocals, the number one key is there's no technique. There's no formula. It's just music. And so you have to get into a true blue creative sense. And it boils down to, does this move me? Have I been moved listening to this? And you trust your gut, you trust your instinct and not your head. You trust your heart, not your head. And so when you're in that mode and you're trying to figure out, what do I want, maybe it should do this, maybe it should do that. It's not music, it's heart. And so you have to go with that first inclination, because you're going to have them, especially when you get into the groove of it. Your body's going to be like, oh man, it needs to do this. Do it. But you can always take away. You can't add. When you get into the mixing part, too late. The shoulda, woulda, couldas won't exist. But you can always, in the midst of the recording part, add way more than what's necessary. And so do it. You just do. Throw it out. Be creative. Feel those creative juices and let them explore.
I can't wait to take you along on this recording session, so here we go. So we just finished the vocals for the first track of the album. Very excited about this, and I wanted to show you another behind-the-scenes look at who's helping us out. Nice. And so Nathan and I, we decided we wanted to kind of do this as, producing it ourselves, but then we decided that we are going to have a third producer as well. So Mr. Cory Chiasson, we've known each other a long time. So if you've been following me through music since 2010-ish, something like that, then you might recognize him. But you've been helping with the programming and also the vocals. Yeah. So what was your vision with some ideas that were kind of floating around your head?
Yeah. Well, you sent me some tracks. You guys sent me some tracks to kind of that you wanted to pull inspiration from, and I just kind of listened to those tracks and pulled the best things that I could from it. Like, I just kind of feel it and then I just try to get it out there, and so I just throw ideas down. And I think that's one of the biggest things that as musicians we can take so long to, like, oh, it has to be perfect, it has to be right, I want to get this right thing, but like that can really stop the process from moving forward. So I just try to chuck as much stuff down as I can, and like, with experience comes you can chuck stuff down that sounds better than other stuff, and you know when to take it out and put it in. And so I just did that, and it's super fun.
The vibe is a really kind of high energy song, and I think the theme is pretty relatable. So I'm excited for people to hear
Yes.
the theme.
Yeah. Don't tell them
and-
now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But kind of a funky, funky, a little bit of rock in
Yeah.
there, a little bit of a rocky, funky,
It's going to be sweet.
upbeat vibe.
There might be horns. There might not be horns. We don't know. We're not saying
see.
anything. We're not promising anything.
Yeah, it's a surprise. So how can, if people want to work with you, because you do produce music,
Yes.
how can people get a hold of you? Tell us.
Yes. Well, you can CoryChiasson.com is the website thing, but also on Instagram is Cory Chiasson, the tallest guy on Instagram. It's not true. But
How tall are you?
I'm 6'11", so
Yeah,
that's why you might recognize us. But it's harder when we're sitting down because we look the same height.
Right, because we went on tour in 2011 together, and I'm 5'1", he's 6'11", so you can just imagine. If I can find a photo.
You should flash on the screen.
Yeah, if I can find a photo of us from touring
geez,
back then.
just babies, literal babies back then.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to add? Is there anything?
Just whatever you do, listen to this album and like and subscribe wherever this thing is located.
YouTube,
Instagram, everywhere. Just like all of Chelsea's stuff. It's going to be great. It's a great album coming your way. It's going to be sweet.
Well, we are back where we started, on the couch, but this time with my husband, Nate. So we rushed home, got the little one in bed as soon as possible, and we are wiped. But I want to know, what did you think of the vocal tracking we did today?
I was very satisfied with it, which is not an easy task to do.
I would agree. I was glad to bring Nate along because he's very honest and very analytical, and so it's a good person to have when you want to make sure that you're doing a good job. He will tell you if you're
Fun
not.
catching up with Cory too. So it's good.
Thanks, Cory. Thank you, Nate. And I can't wait for you to hear the final product. Cheers.